Guess what? We're back, folks. It's been a while and we haven't posted. We apologize. We're trying to get Ryan from crying from the Indianapolis Colts sucking so bad.
It's been disappointing. I'll tell you that much right now.
Dropping water
I know.
bottles.
Just throwing stuff around. Anthony Richardson could overthrow Yao Ming right now.
Wow.
It's ridiculous.
That's a good line.
That is a great line. That's probably so accurate, too. This is great. So we're going to just run through a quick recap of weeks 1, 2, and 3 kind of all together. There's a lot going on. A lot of teams that haven't really started off hot. Some that start slow that need to pick it up. But what's so far your most shocking team, Ryan?
I have a tie in my most shocking team between the New Orleans Saints, the Green Bay Packers, and the Minnesota Vikings.
Okay. Why the Green Bay Packers? Jordan Love is hurt.
Yeah, and they're still got a winning record.
I mean, we're only 3 weeks in.
They're 2-1. Jordan Love got hurt week 1. They beat Indianapolis pretty convincingly week 2.
Yeah, that's not hard to do, though.
And then, okay. And then last week they let Malik Willis cook a little bit and kind of surprised me.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't. Green Bay's not on my list for most shocking. I figured they would be where they're at. They're coached pretty well. I didn't see them being 3-0.
They're most shocking to me because of the quarterback injury. If Jordan Love, they'd have had this record with Jordan Love, I wouldn't have put him on there.
Well, what about you? Forgot about Seattle. Geno Smith's 3-0.
Who cares?
I think that's pretty shocking for a Seahawk fan. I mean, even anybody in the NFL, like the Seattle Seahawks, nobody had them as decent this year. They're on rebuild.
The Seahawks are the multiverse Vikings.
They are leading their division by 2 games right now.
Well, to be fair, the 49ers have third stringers playing, and the Rams have lost everybody on offense, it seems like. So.
The Rams have lost everybody on offense, I think, the last 2 years, ever since they won the Super Bowl.
But don't sleep on the Cardinals.
No,
I think the Cardinals are going to surprise some people this year.
Marvin Harrison and Kyle Murray are starting to sink.
Yeah, James Conner's having a good year too. So
I'm kind of glad the Bills played them first, so that when they weren't synced, so that helped. Then our Bills defense just turned it on after that. They're like, no, we're not giving up any more than 21 points a game. All right, biggest surprise of the quarterbacks right now.
I have a tie in this one as well.
Okay.
Sam Darnold and Mr. Carr are
Okay.
my biggest surprise because I thought Carr was going to have a year like he always does, and then the Saints just came out smoking, scored in 15 straight possessions or something like that.
Now he's grabbing his newts, doing a Michael Jackson celly on the field.
I can't believe you got fined
Getting
for that.
fined for that.
Yeah, what the heck? That wasn't
And
even
then-
that bad.
And then Cody's got to be pretty stoked about Mr. Darnold's play.
How long will that last, though?
It is what I says it is. No sad schools this year.
Not yet.
Not yet, anyways.
We couldn't be happy schools the last couple weeks because we couldn't get Ryan to get out of his mom's basement and stop crying about these schools.
Oh, knee slapper.
Nope, my biggest surprise so far I think is Justin Fields. He wasn't supposed to be the starter of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
3-0.
3-0 came in because Russell Wilson apparently is hurt. Won his couple games. I think he earned that starting spot, and I think Russell Wilson's now the backup.
I agree with that.
So I'm pretty stoked that Justin Fields actually has a chance to be.
He's about to be 4-0
He could be 4-0.
because they are going to probably beat Indy.
Oh,
He
yeah,
was
definitely.
supposed to be a Viking. He was.
I don't
They
know.
took him right in front of us.
I think you have a better quarterback in Minnesota with the way the Minnesota Vikings are set up anyway. They don't need a scrambling quarterback. They need a pocket passer.
I will bite my
I mean,
tongue.
I guess the best thing.
I will bite my tongue.
The
Last
best
time
thing,
you guys had a scrambling quarterback, I'm pretty sure he got concussed. Like,
Dante Culpepper,
yeah,
the greatest of all time.
I wouldn't consider Dante Culpepper a scrambler.
or the greatest of all time.
In Vikings lore.
Viking. All right, best team so far. I want to hear it out of your mouth, buddy.
Score! No, all right, I'll go ahead, Ryan.
I have a 3-way tie.
No, you don't have the
Of
Chiefs.
course
up
he's
there.
got a
Yeah.
tie.
He's got the Chiefs
The
up
theme
there.
of this freaking.
I don't have
should be 0-3, to be honest with you.
I don't have the Chiefs on there, so
Okay,
thank you very
thank
much.
God.
I do.
I have the Minnesota Vikings, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Buffalo.
Oh, thank God.
Big double.
You see how he put mine last just to irritate me because he knows that's the best team in the NFL right
Just
now.
wait till they play somebody good.
They did. They have.
Who?
Miami is a decent team, and so is Jacksonville. Jacksonville
Stop.
started with a
Stop.
rough schedule.
Stop, Ben.
Hey, I'm pretty
Eat
sure.
your Taco Bell and stop.
Listen,
we're gonna
guys.
let Shammy talk.
Last year I said, "Oh, Trevor Lawrence isn't the answer. Trade him." You guys are like, "No, he's gonna get paid. He just got paid." Look, Trevor Lawrence isn't playing good. I was right on that.
Is he not playing good, or is the team around him not playing good?
Their whole team is playing.
Their
like
whole team is
trash.
playing garbage.
They really have a good team on paper, and they shouldn't be 0-3. But they couldn't move the ball against the Bills. They couldn't move the ball at all in their first couple games. They just look pathetic.
Well,
honestly.
Buffalo has at Baltimore, at Houston, and at the Jets as their next 3 games. So we'll see what they're made of after
We shall see.
those 3 weeks.
Yep, Baltimore needs a win. So
If
they're
they're
gonna play us tough.
if they're
for sure.
6-0 after that, I will give them their props. But I don't think they will be.
I bet you they'll be 5-1.
Give Josh Allen the MVP right now.
Josh Allen hasn't thrown an interception. Knock on wood. He hasn't turned the ball
He's
over.
due for 20.
Look, he's not having to look at a star wide receiver. He's hitting the
Well,
open man. He's playing smart football. Like that's
think
the Josh Allen that we needed like 2 years ago.
What's
with
helping
Diggs.
out Josh Allen right now is not, he lost all of his weapons on receiving core, but I think what's helping him out right now is the emergence of James Cook. James Cook is helping that offense out
It's a very good
tremendously.
point,
It
Ryan.
is a
Look
good
at
point,
Ryan with a
but-
point.
Also, you got your 2 tight ends that are killing the middle of the field, and you got Shakir that's killing the middle of the field. Like the middle of the field in the short pass game is there. Like I said at the beginning of the season, the short game for Buffalo, it's going to be hard to stop them on 3 downs.
Because what,
They're
James
going to get a first down averaging on 3 plays.
week 2, James Cook had 40 fantasy points or something crazy like that, 3 touchdowns in the first half, and they just
It's hard to say based on fantasy points if they're good because of depending on the league. Like Josh Allen threw for 4 touchdowns in the first half and only had 28 points. Like just the way it's all set up.
no, James Cook has been killing it this year. So
James Cook is killing it.
Reminds me of a running back I used to know with the same name.
That went to the Jets and just completely lost his career.
he's on the Cowboys practice squad now. isn't
Hey,
he?
you
Hey, at least he's still in the league. It's okay. He's old. I can't believe he didn't beat out Zeke Elliott though.
All right.
Sad skull.
That is a sad skull.
All right, teams that
Zeke looks slim. Zeke looks crazy slim, and I'm happy for him. 15's weird.
actually he is getting down.
15's weird.
Yeah.
But
Obviously the best team in the league right now is Buffalo, Minnesota. Period. I don't think we need to argue that.
Pittsburgh could be thrown in there right now.
Nah, I don't
That
think
defense is legit.
did
Okay,
y'all
yes.
forget about
defense
the
is right.
Heaths? Did you forget about the Heaths?
I did not forget about the Chiefs. I'm just not going to bring it up because they're going to three-peat this year, and I don't want to get Ben going.
They're not. They probably will three-peat because they've won 3 games with the referees this year. The
we
referees
go.
helped them win 3 games.
Except for, I'm not even going to get into this discussion.
Do it.
Everybody wants to. Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
I forget which. Excuse me.
He's just so flustered right now. I can't even talk.
I forget which game it is. What before the Falcons? What was it? Who they play?
They played Jacksonville week 1.
Ignore that. The Ravens.
Oh, they played the Ravens week 1.
They played Cincinnati week 2.
Yeah, since it's been every
was
week.
preseason,
Guess
you're
what?
right.
Chiefs don't get called, quote unquote, for some stuff, and then literally the very next plays after, they get called for 3 straight penalties. Each game, each week, they've gotten called after the so-called call in question. They get hit 3 in a row every week.
Yeah, those are like makeup.
So what? So make up your mind. What is it? They get all the calls or they don't get all the calls?
They don't. They get all the calls. They get all the calls when it matters. You can have.
And then 3 plays after that call, they get hit.
Okay, 3 plays on the.
What are you talking about?
Listen, you can't talk because you're screaming. So
It was pass interference on the on the Chiefs against the Falcons. Yes,
in the end
Then-
zone. In the end zone. In the end zone.
Yep.
In the red zone.
On
in the
any
end
team.
zone.
On any
All right,
team.
let
On
me
any
talk,
team.
let me
And
talk,
then
let me
3
talk.
plays after that, they get hit 3 in a row.
In a row when they're not even in.
So the
scoring, not in red
Falcons. So
zone.
what do the Falcons do? So what do the Falcons
They're
do?
not in
Still
the
don't
red zone.
score.
Cody, you have to look at where they're at in the game.
Who
and where it
cares?
happens.
No, who cares?
You can have 3 false starts.
Either the
at
refs are
50-yard
against them
line.
or they ain't.
No, you
Why
gotta
are the refs
listen to
calling
what I'm
penalties
saying, dude.
against
Listen
the
to
Chiefs
what I'm
if the
saying.
refs are against the
You're
Chiefs?
overriding what I'm saying, and you're not letting me talk because you know I'm right. So when you have
Not
a
at all.
penalty on the 50-yard
This
line,
happened to the
it doesn't mean
this happened for the
it
Patriots for
doesn't
20
mean
years.
it doesn't mean that it's just as equal to is the penalty in the end zone. When you're trying to score, when the game is on the line and you don't get the call when it's blatantly obvious, that hurts a team. Okay, false start on the 50-yard line. Okay, cool. I'll give you 3 false starts on the 50-yard line. That still doesn't
These
equal.
ain't false starts I'm talking about.
It still does not equal that red zone pass interference.
Hands to the face. Literally the play
So you think-
before.
I don't know the 3 calls back to back. I'm not going to tell you what the exact 3 are. It doesn't matter if they got 3 calls on the 50-yard line. They got the calls in the red zone when it mattered.
So you think that
Chiefs are in the red zone, get a hands to the face against the Ravens, goes back to a 3rd and 17 or whatever it is. Patty Mahomes throws a touchdown. You saying that didn't affect anything?
The hands to the face was a blatant call.
Yeah, and they got it called on them, and they got it called on them, and then they hit a
missed
touchdown
more.
next
They
play
missed more.
because the Chiefs is the Chiefs.
Because the Chiefs aren't getting the calls that they deserve to be called on. Okay, if they commit a penalty, you get the penalty.
Yeah, and
You
that
blatantly
happens.
have
And
the-
that happens.
You have a blatant pass interference in the Falcons game. Why cannot I? How can you not say that the refs?
Everybody
helped the Chiefs
agrees that should have been a penalty.
100%.
Everybody.
But that
The
helped
Falcons
Chiefs
also had
win
the ball for
game.
another minute 20.
I didn't say
Go
that the
score.
Falcons didn't have another chance
Go
after
score.
that. They would have had the ball on the 1, 1st and goal.
it happened in the Bengals game too, but that
happened in
was
the
a pass
Bengals game.
interference. That was a pass interference that the Bengals
But
committed against the
That's
Chiefs.
funny how
Exactly.
they called that pass interference against the Chiefs or against the Bengals because the Chiefs player did the same thing to the Falcons guy. The same play happened. The Chiefs didn't get the call for.
That's because they got called 3 plays before that, is my point.
They're not counting how many penalties on each team.
The public
if you
is.
commit a
The
penalty,
public
it's
is.
a penalty.
The public is.
If it's a penalty, it's a penalty.
For sure. And the Chiefs get just as many called on them as they
Because
do.
they deserve it. They do it wrong.
So
They're
how
not
are
getting-
they? So how are they?
they're missing
What are we
so many
arguing about?
calls.
What are we arguing about? That the refs are on the Chiefs' side?
The refs are helping the Chiefs win.
Wrong.
Yes,
You
100%.
No, this whole conversation, this
when
whole
the-
mini discussion just proved that they're getting equal calls.
Okay,
It's equal.
If we're doing 1 for 1, yes, I'm talking about when it happens and where it happens. Who cares if it's 1st and 10 and they have a false start? Okay, but we're looking
The
at
public.
We're looking at 4th and 1, and they had commit a penalty and they turn the ball over. The refs don't call it. That hurts more than a false start on 1st down.
I'm not talking about.
It's more
just a
important than a
false start.
hands to the face on 2nd down.
That
It
was a
doesn't
10-yard
matter.
penalty
You can
that
have
pushed
3rd
them
and
back to the
17
40, but-
and have a chance after that penalty. But when there's a penalty that is committed and you don't have a chance after that, that's when it's wrong.
The Chiefs is the Chiefs. You're afraid.
Of what? What am I afraid of?
The Chiefs. That they're gonna.
That's your
they're
comeback?
they're gonna
That's your
rip
comeback.
Josh Allen's panties down once again. Yo, did you see the Dolphins quarterback's pants come down?
Oh, I did not see that.
Literally, there's cheeks. There's a photo of cheeks. I think maybe it was their punter.
I think you just stopped us. Did you?
Nope, it's still going.
Okay.
Did you see the cheeks? Literal cheeks.
Okay, why are we even talking about that? That's not even football.
Because I said the Chiefs are going to pull Josh Allen's panties down, and then that reminded me of the Dolphins player that literally he's getting tackled. His booty's hanging out, and it's
Okay,
HD.
we're getting way off topic here. Way off topic.
We're only 12 minutes in. We're only
We were
12
talking
minutes
about
in.
the most. What were we talking about?
What were we talking about?
we were talking about the best teams right now.
The best team.
It's
Yeah,
the
you're giving-
Chiefs.
It is not the Chiefs.
It's the Chiefs.
You are so far. You don't even know football if you think it's the Chiefs.
They were an inch away from losing week 1.
They were an inch away from losing all 3 games, but the refs again gave them the favor of the call.
His toe.
when it mattered.
His toe was out of
Oh,
bounds.
the
week
toe.
one.
It's out of bounds,
I
yes.
forgot about the toe.
The toe for Isaiah Likely.
Was that the refs or was that Isaiah Likely?
No, that was.
If he had had a
that
size
wasn't a
12 instead of
completion.
13, that would have been a touchdown.
But you want to talk about even calls on that game? Baltimore had what 15, and the Chiefs had 2. So let's talk about fairness on that game.
Hey, learn how to line up.
Look at that game and see
Illegal
how many times.
formation.
Learn how to line up.
Look how many
I
times
know what
the
illegal
Chiefs didn't line
formation
up
is
right.
now.
Look how many times the Chiefs didn't line up correctly and they didn't call it.
Who, bro?
I'm telling you, you're talking about fairness, and I'm throwing it. I'm
Okay,
throwing evidence
okay.
in your face about fairness, and I'm beating your ass.
Rewind, Ben. What were your
It's not
teams?
a rewind sound.
For what? The best teams?
yeah.
I had Buffalo and Minnesota.
Buffalo and Minnesota.
Yep.
You didn't have Pittsburgh in there.
No.
You don't
No,
know football. You're saying
I agree
Minnesota's
with your
one of the
defense.
best teams.
I agreed with your defense. The defense of Pittsburgh is what's winning a lot of their games. Justin Fields will start clicking, and then it'll be all over.
Justin Fields
But-
is playing like he should have last year in Chicago.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not
It's kind of
yet.
nice to have him win and prove to Chicago that they did the wrong thing.
Right. Okay, let's move on.
Teams to get nervous.
I have 2 again, but I'll let you go first this time.
I have Jacksonville, Cincinnati, and Miami.
I can agree with all those.
Yeah, those-
Cincinnati was in a shootout last night and didn't pull it out. Washington looked good.
Joe Burrow, I don't think is an all-star quarterback like everybody says.
3 touchdowns, 360 yards last night. No interceptions. 28 of 38.
All
And
that
he-
matters is the loss.
Doesn't you said
Cincinnati's
he's not a top quarterback? He's a top
not
quarterback.
paying their receivers, and their receivers.
Who's not paying their receivers?
Cincinnati.
Not yet.
I mean, they
Jamar
still
Chase wants a new contract.
They
He
just
didn't
put
get
$1
to
billion
franchise.
into a new stadium.
Yeah. And what was your other one? Cincinnati who?
Jacksonville and Miami.
Jacksonville is going off the rails right now. They are terrible.
I don't even think it's the coaching staff. I honestly think the players are just not meshing. I don't think Trevor Lawrence actually has the control of that offense like he needs to.
As much as I love seeing this, I think one of their biggest problems is not having Evan Ingram on offense. He had 111 catches last year, or some crazy number like that for
Is
a
he
tight
hurt
end.
or did he get traded?
He's hurt. He had a
Okay.
hamstring injury. You take 111 catches out of your offense.
Yeah, but you add Gabe Davis. Let's be honest. You got some good wide receivers in that team.
You're just trying to sell a jersey.
No, I'm keeping that. I'm buying.
Dude,
the
I
jersey.
do like their rookie wide receiver Brian Thomas.
Yep. I mean, they still got Christian Kirk. I mean, he's not like he's one of the higher paid wide receivers. You got Gabe Davis still. You got Travis Etienne. Like, there's no reason that offense shouldn't be producing.
Yeah.
I mean, they were up 20 points against the Dolphins and lost in the fourth. They were up. Who did they play week 2?
Who?
Jacksonville.
They played
Browns.
Cleveland. Yep.
Oh, they were up in that game and lost that game, and then they looked like they didn't even know what they were doing in Buffalo.
Yeah, they look like a high school team playing the Bills.
Yeah,
It was bad. But,
which I hope that's because the Bills are that good.
we'll find out.
Yep, they do got a tough
But
schedule
I do agree with you, Miami. I had Miami on the list.
Yep.
And right now, I'm going to sound like a homer, but I'm worried about Indy. Anthony Richardson's looking bad. I thought he'd come out. I know he's a streaky player. He's a young quarterback, but I figured he would still.
He's played
Something.
6 games.
You see how bad he was missing
In
receivers?
3 years though.
That's accuracy. And then 20 starts in 4 years or something like that. He's the freshest of the fresh. Josh Allen took 3 years to get his stuff together.
But it's not just that. They're
AR's just not accurate. To me, he looks just like Josh Allen. To me, he looks like he's throwing a deep ball. He's pushing running backs in. He's a big physical beast. He's just not accurate.
It's just not AR that I'm worried about. I'm worried about the Colts defense
That's what you started with.
getting run all over.
Oh,
the
yeah,
place.
your
Like,
defense is atrocious.
Green Bay
Your defense
ran
is
all the
atrocious.
way over them.
Yeah, but
I
to
mean,
be
they played a
fair-
little better against Chicago, but it's Chicago. And,
And Caleb Williams still somehow threw 360 yards against y'all.
and threw 2 interceptions.
And
Your defense is also hurt though.
Bruh, we got lost Buckner. That was a big loss, losing to Forrest Buckner for
Yeah.
4 weeks.
I mean, you almost beat your foe, the Texans. Like, that was a good game. I mean, you haven't given up a lot of points defensively. I don't think your defense is the one that needs to worry. I honestly think your offensive line is not
Well, we play
holding up, and your wide receivers aren't helping your quarterback.
we play Pittsburgh this week, and if we couldn't move the ball very well against Chicago, there's no way in hell we're going to move it against Pittsburgh.
Oh, Pittsburgh's probably going to destroy that offense. That offensive line is. This is the game that Anthony Richardson gets hurt.
Like, if I was a fantasy guru, expert, whatever, I would tell people bench every Colt player you have this week. I wouldn't even play Jonathan Taylor right now.
He's gonna-
Oh, yeah, he didn't even play a fourth quarter.
Yeah.
What
didn't
is
play him
going
in the fourth
on in
Again, in
Indy?
Green Bay, yeah, they didn't even put him in the fourth quarter at all
Why?
against Green Bay.
What happened?
You didn't hear about that? Yeah. Yeah.
He did not take one single snap in the fourth quarter against Green Bay because they said
Coach's decision or his decision?
Coaches.
they said they were passing and
They said we're
running.
passing. We don't need him.
Oh,
This
my
is real.
gosh.
This is not.
So maybe that's not a team that you need to worry. That's the coaching staff and the upper management. I think they're worse than the Cowboys right now.
Yeah, everybody
Management-wise.
agrees. Yeah.
Management-wise, not team.
No, the whole team. Yes.
The whole team.
They're worse than the Cowboys.
I'm pretty sure the Colts are probably
The
going to
Cowboys
get the
aren't
first
even
pick next
bad.
year.
Cowboys aren't even
Potentially get
bad.
the first pick
Colts
next
ain't
year.
going to get the first pick.
I don't know. Andy Dalton's starting.
But
to
this
bring
whole
up that team.
But this whole topic was about who are you worried about?
Yes.
Me personally, nobody. You know why? Because it's week 3.
Oh my!
It's
gosh.
week 3.
Here we go. The sensitive, no fun talk.
What are
is
you
it
talking about?
Nobody needs to worry.
The
about
Bengals
that.
could win 12 straight.
They could, but they're not.
They
What was that
could.
stat I seen the other day? There's like
It's
no
week 3.
0-3 team has ever won the Super Bowl.
But that's not what we're talking about. That's not. What are you? Because they still literally could. But
Everybody has.
who
a
are
chance,
you?
though.
Who? Yeah, literally.
But really, do they?
Even the Titans. Even the Titans.
What has Will Levis been doing lately?
Would you put money on that? Would you put money on that?
On what?
That the Titans still have a chance to win the Super Bowl. You think they have a chance to come to the Super Bowl this year?
That's not the right question.
Would you put money?
Because duh. Anybody can literally win the Super Bowl. Duh.
Yeah, would you put money that they're going to make it to the Super Bowl?
I would put an amount.
How much would you put on the Titans to go to the Super Bowl?
$5.
This year? You're talking this year.
$5.
You'd waste $5.
It could happen.
Anything could happen, but it's not gonna.
So
Carolina's
you agree.
not gonna-
So you agree.
Carolina's not going to go to the Super Bowl.
Carolina might not make it. They might not make it. I love the Red Rocket, though. I love the Red Rocket. We have our own Red Rocket in Minnesota.
Carolina
Ow.
needs to trade Bryce Young and get some assets back.
Yeah, did you hear the trade? that was going on?
No.
Did you hear the trade that could potentially happen?
I
Rams start a rebuild right now.
thought about that too. I didn't hear about
They
that,
got Stetson Bennett.
but
They got Stetson Bennett.
Who had? Oh yeah.
I suggested a 3-way trade. I don't know if this is what you've seen or not, but I thought this would work good for all 3 teams involved. I think
You did not think of this. You're sending Bryce Young to the Rams, Stafford to the Dolphins. You didn't think of that. You saw that on.
No,
I did not
Ryan
see
sent
that.
an AR to the Dolphins. Ryan
I did not
sent
see
an AR to the Dolphins.
Yeah, you had to have. There's no way.
He
that it
said he
would have
wants
been a topic
concussed.
of
No, I was
discussion.
talking to my boss at work about this the other day. I did not see anything about that. You send Stafford to the Dolphins, you send Bryce Young to the Rams, and then both the Rams and the Dolphins send picks to the Panthers.
That was the trade that they were talking about on ESPN for like 2 weeks in a row.
But I don't think the Rams are going to do that.
No, because they have Matt Stafford.
Well, the Rams have to decide if they're going to suffer through these injuries and try to make a playoff run, which they possibly could because their division is really weak right now.
How?
They're not far behind their
3
division.
weeks.
Let me ask you, as a Bills fan, how nervous would you be if Matthew Stafford was a Dolphin?
I think that the Dolphins potentially would win the division if they had a quarterback that could actually sling. I mean, I'm not worried that Tua was their quarterback with Tyreek Hill, but if you have a passer like Matt Stafford or even Sam Darnold or Kirk Cousins, anybody that can step back and just throw the ball, Tyreek Hill can get to that ball faster than anybody. You don't even have to be accurate for him to catch that ball.
But right now, the Dolphins' offense is
Did you hear what this man just said?
bad. Yes, I did.
What?
He put Kirky and Sam Darnold in the same league as, I forget the other names you said.
Matt Stafford.
Matt Stafford.
I said if you have a slinger like Matt Stafford, you don't. They're not running. They're not a running quarterback.
No.
They're not a mobile quarterback.
No.
They're slingers.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield's in that category. He's a slinger.
Matt Stafford is
You could throw Aaron Rodgers in there.
Aaron Rodgers is a slinger.
50 times.
I didn't say that they were better. I said these are slingers. These are not. I'm not ranking them top 5.
All right.
Okay, they're in the same
Slingers.
category as step back and throw.
Slingers.
They're not mobile quarterbacks.
But I do think that Miami needs to do something. They need to make a trade, a splash, something to get a quarterback.
Either that or Daniels is going to get fired.
Because
No,
honestly, I don't think Tua is coming back this year.
I do.
I do. I definitely know he's coming back. He said I'll be back in 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
Because that was rough.
But-
Another concussion.
He'll be back.
The other notable that everybody needs to start thinking about worrying is the 49ers. They need to get these guys back. Brock Purdy's not a lead. Well, he's good, but he's not the leader of that team.
Brock Purdy
You can
is
tell Christian McCaffrey and Debo Samuel are the leaders of that offense.
Brock Purdy is
they're
hurt
the
now
best
too.
players on the team, but Brock Purdy's the leader.
Brock
him
Purdy-
and Fred Warner, and Trent Williams. That's the leaders of the team.
Fred Warner's defense.
Did you hear that Brock
They're
Purdy
the leaders of the team.
Brock Purdy's hurt as well.
But
now?
is he out?
They're doing tests and stuff on him right now.
What happened to him?
I think it was something with his ribs, maybe. But some kind of
He
injury.
did get hit pretty hard in that game. So, all right, you have
That's
anything
'cause
else you
Trent
want to
went
add
down.
about
Trent went down.
the shocking first 3 weeks of the season?
No, not really. I mean, there's
Does Baltimore need to freak out a little bit?
Nope.
Being 1-2, they had a tough start. They had a really tough schedule to start the
who do
season.
they got now?
Week 4 coming up.
Oh yeah, they got Buffalo. They should win that game.
Oh God, here we go.
Steelers, here we go.
That you were so high on Justin Fields last year as a Bear. Oh my gosh, this is another one of those options.
Dang.
My
Ravens
gosh.
got Buffalo, Cincy, Washington, Tampa, Cleveland, Denver, Cincy, Pittsburgh, LA.
Yeah,
Chargers.
they gotta-
Well,
Philly,
Justin Fields
New
finally
York
has
is a win. Pittsburgh, Houston,
I don't
Cleveland,
know.
Philly,
Devin
Atlanta.
Singletary.
Dang, the Ravens have a tough schedule.
That's a team that could be on surprising too. The Giants.
Yeah,
No. Stop.
Malik Neighbors.
Stop!
Malik Neighbors is that guy.
Neighbors is starting to play really.
The Panthers and the Giants are the worst teams in the league. Stop.
Well,
That's what's gonna happen.
Andy Dalton he's 1-0. Andy Dalton's 1-0. I think they're better than Cleveland right
I
now.
want to see them win 7 games.
Both
bad.
teams are better than
Or
Cleveland.
Deshaun
right now.
Watson has
No!
sexual crime against him going on right now, so
He
he's
needs a
got.
massage. He needs to start playing better.
Cleveland's not one of the worst teams at all, by far. Stop. It's the Giants.
Have you watched any of the Cleveland games?
Yes.
Cleveland has-
I watch Red Zone every Sunday. I watch all the games all the time.
So you obviously didn't. If you're watching Red Zone, you did not see the Cleveland Browns.
I did. I did. I saw them lose.
Cleveland's disappointed
You
me.
saw them lose.
I saw them
I had
You
lose.
didn't see them score because they didn't.
They almost won that game.
I had Cleveland winning that division, and that's not going to happen.
No, it's not.
Not this year.
I don't remember who I said.
You had
I lost.
Baltimore. Remember, you had Baltimore
yeah,
going like 17-0 or
17-0.
something like
Yeah.
that.
We have to go back to see what our bets were. I didn't have them written down,
Yeah, because that's going to happen.
but I know it was 6-0 Bills in the division,
Yes. You
and
know
that's
what
still alive. You said it was going to be gone with the Dolphins. Did you have them losing to the Dolphins?
I don't remember.
Look on your sheet.
I thought you meant like in the
Oh.
bet. Ooh, where are you at?
Buff, B-U-F.
I had them.
You had us losing.
Yes, I had you losing to the Dolphins.
See, there we go. I beat Ryan. That's all that matters.
But then I have you losing the next 3 games at Baltimore, at Houston, at the Jets.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Not all 3. Maybe 2. Maybe 1. But not all 3. All right. Anything else you want to add about weeks 1 through 3?
No, not really.
Yeah, I think we covered most of the exciting parts, except the Chiefs suck. All right. Well, that
They're the
wraps up.
best.
That wraps up this episode of Mom's Basement. Thanks for listening, and glad we're back.